This is the -1000 and I've pre-measured 5 milliliters of that. I'm going to add in the 5 milliliters of PL, oh sorry, -1000. We'll mix for 3 minutes. So we're going to let this sit, let's restart the clock. And let this sit, so we've zeroed it out. So here's the material we mixed up yesterday. As you can see in the clock, it's been 26 hours. You can see that we have the solids that have separated out and fallen out of suspension to the bottom. We get the layer of middlings, which is the sort of browny layer in the middle, and then on top we have the bitumen layer there. But you can see the bitumen material that's come to the surface there. So what I'm going to do at this juncture is I'm going to weigh this pie tin, the bitumen, place it. Bitumen that's been recovered. I'm going to pour off this this liquid layer. I've got 2 liters of water that I've got. Now there is our bitumen recovered. I'm going to just pour it like that. The separated solids, which is this lower section. So it comes out pretty solid. And you can see that it already has good anyway, you can see the material is actually got a lot of structure to it. You can see this material here, and the other thing I've done in the past is washed this material, and then it comes in, and it actually comes in even harder. This here's the heavier clays portion. So it's pretty thick. It's not completely dewatered by any stretch, but it's definitely got a lot of stiffness and structure to it. There is the material. As you see, it's pretty clean, although there is one bit of bitumen that appears to be in there. And I'm going to pour in a little bit of water just to put in there. Up there. Okay, and that's going to take some time to settle because we've got it all back into suspension again. The heavier stuff will fall out quicker, but the lighter stuff may take a while. So this is the middlings layer that we're looking at now. You see that a little bit of the bitumen has come to the top again. It's impossible to get it all out when it comes out in the solids. There's the solids now again. So why don't we do it 300 and then take it up to 900. I'm going to add in 0.5 grams of WA50 and then mix it for 2 minutes. And then after we've mixed it for 2 minutes, then I'm going to check the pH and adjust the pH down. About 5.5, it gives the best result. 250 RPM, and add in our 0.5 grams of WA50. So this is the WA50 here, and you can see that's what it looks like. Kind of granular material with some additives which are powder in there. Okay, so that's a 2-minute mix of that. And I'm going to just check and see what the pH is. The WA50 does reduce the pH down, and it's looking to be hard to tell because of the solids stick to it, but it looks like it's about 6.5, maybe 6 just now. So I'm going to add in 4 drops just to get us started, and we'll see where we go from there. I'm going to reset this. While that's mixing, I'm going to also check and see what the pH is of the middlings water before anything's added to it. I was going to put it in a small tray, but I can't find one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just on the bench here, I'm going to put some of that middlings water just in there, and then I'm going to put the pH strip on top. I would say around, it's either going to be 8.5 or 9. Can't really see it on the camera, but there's some decent looking flocks moving around there. And there we go, we got a far better result there. Look at that, we got lovely chunky flock and also pretty clear water. There's still a bit of a tinge to it. Use this water actually. And there we go, that's it, 5.5. So that's where we're aiming to be. So this is the material we just mixed, and we're going to recover this liquid portion. Okay, so what we got here is a 300 micron filter bag, and I'm going to just pour the liquid in through here. There's a flocculated material that we have just created. Let itself drip out, but we can see that we've recovered this water. There's a little bit of solids that have come through, about 525 milliliters that we've recovered from the previous cycle. Now obviously we haven't squeezed anything out of the solids that are captured in there. We've still got that within the filter, and it's going to drip out. Right, so we're going to take this up to 850. Okay, so we've got 0.5 grams of WA50, and we're going to add it into our mixer again. Got a nice block, but again the water still is discolored there. So here is the middlings material after being treated for the second time. So this water here has been reused from the first test, and then we've flocculated the material here using the reclaimed water. In previous tests I've let this sit for 24 hours. This was the wash water that we had. We've washed the clays. If I pour that out, do we have like the clays at the bottom that are solid like we had the last time? So again, we're just pouring them straight out. That's the wash water. There, that is the solids, the heavier solids. We haven't added anything to this apart from water to wash it. See what this is like, because this is, you can see on there how solid this is. It's actually cracked, and you can see that it's kind of driving the water away from it. So this is like a really solid material. Look at that material now compared to what it was before. It was pretty stiff before, but now look at it. It is solid. So this material was under water, and I just poured it off. You can see how stiff that is. Nothing's been added to this apart from the original separation using the -1000. So we don't actually need to do anything to this material because I think it's already at a stage that it can be used without having to filter press it or anything else. And again, as I've said a couple of times now, this was without adding any extra chemistry. So, could we stack that? Pretty sure we could. And there's no free liquid if I squeeze that. There's nothing there. Then it fills a part of that. Look how clean that is as well. Sorry, good. Try and get some focus on this. But you don't see any there's no bitumen in that anymore. So these sands are clean, or these clays are clean. Nothing in there. If you let that dry, the one I did earlier, this is the one that's in the photograph of our testing, and this is the one I cut with a knife. So you see it cut down. I cut it when it was kind of in that same damp state, and it's retained a bit like this. What I can do is see here. So it is a dry, crumbly material now. So here's the bitumen that we recovered. As you can see, that the weight is 6.3, just call it round up to 6.36 grams. And the pie tin initially weighed 0.93 grams. So therefore we've recovered 5.43 grams of bitumen in this test. We did lose some other bitumen that was attached to the spoons and didn't come out the glass properly, etc. So it may have been slightly more than that, but currently we can say that we've recovered 5.43 grams of bitumen.